Hello, everybody, and welcome to Boss Battle Round 32. And such a battle will be had of wits and of brawn. We'll see. Probably brawn. Definitely magic. I'm here with two fantastic people. Do you want to announce yourselves?
No. No.
Okay. Well, guess I'm still doing this on my own then. I'm Goron, and I'll be doing everything then, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Yes.
It's okay. But yeah, last time I checked, Cat and Krakatong were here. But, you know, they might not be here anymore.
What?
But,
Hey,
nobody said hi! You haven't said hi, Krakatong! I don't know you're here!
How did I get here? I didn't know I was here. What the heck? What?
You've been teleported for interdimensional, interdimensional, speaking. Congratulations, Krakatong. But,
Last I checked, I was slaying a spire. What happened?
that's what happens when you finish the game. There you go.
I wouldn't know. I've never beaten that before.
Yep. Congratulations. But, yeah. Okay.
Now we know the plot of Slay the Spire 2.
So, our match is Dark Twin Rover versus Twin Rover. You know, really is conquering yourself right now. Dark Twin Rover, as always, health question mark, power question mark, intelligence F, mobility question mark, doppelganger is an equals on most stats, darkness affinity B. As always, with stuff like doppelganger, we kind of scale it that it would be at the most sort of B stage. Depending, of course, how high all the stats are. So I will be saying that. And yeah. Twin Rover, Health F, Power F, Intelligence A, Mobility S, Magic Resist B, Magic Attack B, Fusion B. Again, Twin Rover have won quite a few of these. So we'll really see how they'll fare up. Is there anything you two want to say about our competitors?
All I gotta say is I find it funny that the Twin Rover sisters have such an edge in so many of these fights, despite being like by far one of the easiest bosses in Ocarina of Time, because it's just hold R until you get the right color 3 times, zap them, and then whack them with a sword a few times.
I mean, the thing is that a lot of these enemies have elemental, can be weak to certain elements, and also on top of that, Twin Rover has that mobility S. The Intelligence A hasn't been helping so much.
Nope, you're in. We'll see how it works out for them fighting against themselves.
Yeah,
more than they normally do.
That's the hidden stat, the one that's not in the list.
The ego stat.
Ego, yes.
Ego operates on golf rules. The higher it is, the worse you are.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So, we've got our combatants. First thing is, where do we think this will be? I'm gonna make it homely. We're not gonna have it in any boss room, because having it in a boss room is, you know, is effectively different. Although it could technically be in the Twin Rover boss room with the mirroring. We're just gonna say it's... Are we okay with it being a standard room where Twin Rover are cooking something? Making a potion or something?
I think it's literally just Twin Rover's boss room, which doesn't really change anything. I think that's all it is.
Okay, cool. They're just cooking a potion in there, then.
Yeah, they just got a little tripod cauldron set up with a little campfire.
Yeah. Got it. So we're happy with that.
And then stacks and stacks of books and shit everywhere.
Yeah. Definitely.
They cleaned up the place for Link before he got there. They didn't want him trashing the place.
Yeah, definitely. You do clean up the place before Link comes here. Every boss does it. You know.
Gotta do that.
Yeah. You know.
Come courtesy, gotta be a good host.
And we talk about it with Phantom Ganon and his vinyl record collection. You know. He's a
Please tell me he has
massive
Dark Side of the
fan.
Moon. Please tell me Phantom Ganon has
He
Dark Side of the Moon.
probably does, doesn't he?
He's never listened to it. He doesn't know what the album's about. He just likes the album art.
And that's fair enough. He was thinking of changing all of his paintings to that. I don't know why I've gone off on this tangent now.
Because I've come back, so therefore I'm going to bring us on some kind of derailed tangent, and this time it was
cool.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah. Okay, then. But yeah, we're happy with that. I was saying my preferences beforehand, but I want to sit this one out if it's okay. Are you two happy taking the roles? I assume Krakaton, you want to be Twin Rover, and Kat, you'll be Dark Twin Rover?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that works.
Cool. Of course, I'll be the narrator, so like if anything needs explaining, like if there's flashbacks or something that we need to go through, I'll put my spin on it.
2 open doors on her left. Komi came to 2 open doors and entered the one on her left. Screw you, narrator!
Yes,
I do what I want. I'm going back through the first door.
Kume does
so
not
bad.
go back through the first door.
Komi
Instead,
was so
she
bad at following directions, it was surprising she hadn't been killed sooner.
yeah. Okay then. Also percentages. Yeah, I'll put them now effectively. Wink wink. Yeah, are we all happy with the percentages?
Yes.
Okay then. Right. So the 2 realms blend into one. With Twin Rover with their cooking pot, their book collection, and their Super Famicom. They somehow have a Super Famicom. Don't ask me. Dark Twin Rover, it's the same thing, but, it's the mirrored version, effectively. And Twin Rover are first to see all of this, so Twin Rover, it's up to you to determine what you're going to do. Go right ahead.
Sorry, can you go back over that one more time real quick? I just had to double check on which ones were Kotake and Kome, because I'm always forgetting.
Twin Rover is Kotake and Kome. Dark Twin Rover is...
Well, no, Kome is fire, Kotake is ice.
Yes.
That's what I was having to double check on.
Cool.
So what is our current situation? Is we're just
you've seen that there's some room that looks close to your own, but not. Basically, the worlds are sort of shaping in together, and you see Dark Twin Rover like in the distance, effectively.
Yeah.
First,
I imagine that both the Twin Rover sisters just kind of cock their heads towards the portal. They're on opposite sides of the pot, and they're doing that same bird head cock. Just look, sister, the words on their books are backwards. That's weird. Why did they do that? How are they gonna read it? And maybe they use mirrors. Who knows? Hey, who are you?
And under that time, I'd say with that little speech, it would probably be like Dark Kume and Dark Kotake sort of turn to sort of react to it.
I would see that the dark counterparts would fly in closer to the real ones, and in midway switch, so the opposing sisters, so the copies would be facing not the original, but the opposing sister.
Okay.
Look at that. This one's almost as ugly as you, Kotake. Hey, shut it. This one's uglier than you are. No, wait, not quite. Yeah. Oh, you. Just gritting their teeth at each other.
And in response to that, the dark ones, in a creepy unison, voice. Like you hear the voice coming from both of their mouths at the same time, like at the exact same time. That oh, I see. I still haven't ditched you. How could this be? You know that I am the smarter one, right?
Their eyes do that glass crack, that glass shattering sound, just as their eyes, like, without them turning their heads, because you can see their eyes are on either side of their heads. They just kind of do that chameleon eye. What did you just say? You think you're the ones ditching us, huh? We know who you are. You're those dark reflections, aren't you, from that water temple? Really think we didn't study up on you after we uncovered you? Please. You're nothing more than a tool to us, a pawn. That's right. You're nothing.
Dark Ones
Know your
would-
place, Shadows.
And the Dark Ones would respond, "We are just the truth within your hearts. You know that I'm better."
You're nothing more than the shadows cast upon the walls in the night. And just like the sun comes in the morning, you will fade, and we will remain. Now, if you don't know your place, then maybe we'll show it to you. It's right over there. And as one of them points their broom, the other one will just kind of smack the opposite counterpart standing in front of her with her broom. Kotake, that's the part where we're supposed to distract them. Out. Right. Points with her broom as well. Well, it doesn't work now, does it? The broom didn't do any damage. It just kind of went...
Sorry, the brooms are hitting Kotake, yeah?
Basically, Kume was trying to point behind them as, like, they were going to point behind them we'll show you your place. But Kotake instead took her broom and, like, flipped it around and, like a baseball bat, just swung it across the side of Dark Kume's face, doing, like, no damage at all. Because it's just a broom.
Oh, I disagree. That's minor damage, pretty much. Remember, their health is that low.
Oh, yeah.
This is not magic. This is a physical brawl. That deals minor damage.
But it's also a broom.
Yeah, but...
And they have no strength at all.
They have no health.
I think the Dark Ones are slightly less frail to the physical attacks.
I mean, normally they completely they completely sort of mimic the other, so I'd still say it's minor damage. Like, I'm not going to say it's anything more, but like, I'm being honest, like that's minor damage. Although I'll give Kat the option. In all fairness, Kat, does Dark Twin Rover do anything about this attack?
I would see this being like a point where the Dark Ones would have just... There'll be just the expectation that this is gonna be, you know, the point where the bickering starts and it doesn't end. This just goes against the norm so much. I could see that the hit would go in.
Okay.
But then, like, with it being the thing of, you were supposed to point, not swing at it. I thought I was supposed to swing at it, not point. So there's an opening.
But,
well.
Yeah, I'd still say one of them has minor damage, due to that. Like, again, these broom... anything can damage them. Literally anything, you know.
Like, dust falls from the roof, lands on the shoulder. Ah, my hernia!
Even Morpher could damage Twin Rover. We know, well, I don't know if I've done that battle yet, but, like, I'm nearly certain, like, if Morpher got close enough, Morpher could definitely, like, hurt Twin Rover, even without the water affinity. So I'm still just calling it mine. Yeah, I'm still calling it minor damage.
Alright.
Like, here, as a quick side tangent, I don't remember which of the sisters it was, but they were beaten by a couple of squares and a raccoon.
Why am I not surprised?
couple squares in Raccoon. I'm trying to remember which.
When they got stranded in the forest.
Right, yeah.
yeah.
I'm not playing Majora's Mask. I've seen it enough times. I just don't remember a lot of the side story stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. Where were we? So forgive me on that one. But I mean, definitely Kume and Kotake were attacking. I'd assume one of them just attacks the other, giving one of them
Kotake
minor
slapped
damage.
Dark Kume across the face with a broom.
Yeah. Like
But then Kome starts chewing out Kotake for doing the wrong action.
Okay, basically, yeah.
So now it's angry bint noises.
Well, I mean, yeah, fair enough. I'd still say it would be on Kume, Kotake to determine what to do next, seeing them bickering.
Yeah. It's their turn.
Yeah.
Since the bickering did start, not to the manner that it was expected to all, but still it starts, so that's the point, to do a sucker punch, but not a punch. Well, a punch but with magic. Just to be...
I was hoping they were both going to do an overhead swing with their brooms. Just as a just like as an insult to injury. But that's my fan interpretation, like alternate timeline thing of just going full Looney Tunes scrap.
I would say that being the case if it would be just exact copies.
I do prefer like them just being like, all right, full blast.
Okay. Yeah, let me see on that one.
Which means ice is going to hit fire, and fire's going to hit ice, which, as we know,
they're gonna. I hate to sort of say this, but well, basically that means that Kume and Kotake are probably minor to moderate damage, both of them.
Oh yeah, it's moderate, or verging on moderate.
I was saying verging, yeah. So they can definitely feel it right now.
We're 40% damage on each one. Just
So
one of them's got the frozen like mask across their whole body, the like cartoonishly, and the other one's like got the soot covered and the eyes pop open.
Yeah. I mean, this is a big attack because they've got enough time to charge between Twin Rover bickering as well. So it's up to you.
Yeah. What's that smell? It smells like something's cooking. No, it smells like something's freezing. No, it's cooking. No, it's freezing. It's freezing. It's cooking. Just change their arguments.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think, because it's only minor to moderate damage, we could rule this either way, but I'm not gonna say there's that much of a... Ooh. Yeah. Actually, no, I'm gonna do it. There's a stun. Effectively, your next turn is gone. Yeah, I have to.
It's like one of them's covered in ash, the other one's like got that frozen like wave across their body that like has the spike sticking off. The other side's still not frozen.
Yeah.
Just like
So I'm gonna pass it again to Kume, Kotake. What do you do? Again, in these seconds, they are getting unstunned, so, obviously. But
I think we need to get serious about this. Oh, you think? I got black lung again.
I would see the dark counterparts starting to charge up another bolt of magic, while saying with that creepy unison again that, see, I told you I was the better sister.
Okay, I think they're going to shoot us again. No, you think?
I mean, the next...
They're ready, as they're like kind of brushing themselves off. We should probably put up a shield or something. Don't tell me what to do. And they're going to hop onto their brooms and kind of like try and start floating off, but they're kind of like bobbing a little bit because they're still a little addled from the shot. So they're
Yeah.
they're splitting off in different directions and trying to kind of gain distance. They're gonna basically do that thing where they'll circle around the top of the room.
Okay, then. Cat? What happens next? I think
I
we
would say
both
that the
know.
dark ones would try to, set their blast off, but then comes in the question: would they hit or not?
Mm.
I think the Twin Robo Sisters are basically gonna start by moving kind of slow and gonna try and anticipate the blast so they can speed up right before the blasts fire, so that they, the basically leading the shot gets thrown off. Or if, they might also they might actually more accurately they'd halt their brooms right as the shot's about to hit in front of them, so they don't fly into it.
Well, I mean, I hate to say this, but I've pretty much come to the conclusion that in this match, it is actually Dark Kume and Dark Kotake that win this match.
Yep.
And the reason why is that, the actions that you gave them meant that effectively both of them would be hit and would be on moderate to severe damage. And considering, basically considering the nerf in speed and considering you don't need speed to, do an accurate spell, it would definitely hit, even if it was a scrape. And at that point, they wouldn't have the speed available to merge or do anything on that one. So in this battle itself, our winner is Dark Kume, Dark Kotake. In this battle. But
in this specific scenario.
But as always, do you, Krakatong, want to explain what our general opinions of this are?
So in this one, basically we see that the one of the things we had to discuss was that the way that the Dark Link works is that it is not so much the worst aspects of yourself in terms of the weakest, but rather it is taking your worst parts of yourself that you hate the most and weaponizing them against you. It is meant to be a test of overcoming yourself. Literally, you can see on the screen it says conquer yourself, as in overcome your own weaknesses. And it is by basically trying to turn yourself against you. Kome and Kotake already turn against each other quite a lot. So by the mirrored versions targeting them, basically what we have to remember is that the Dark Kome and Dark Kotake are not two individual entities. They are one singular entity that is just imitating the both of them simultaneously. They are a single mind, and therefore they don't bicker with themselves. And they are preying on Kome and Kotake's bickering and like weaponizing it, making for an actually quite easy win in this scenario where they get the ability to prey on that.
Yeah.
But if Kome and Kotake could get along or see where things were going and see that that was its plan, well,
yeah,
things might go a little differently.
I mean, I was going to go into exact scenarios, but I was merely more asking what our percentages are. Our percentages are our winner in this case would be Twin Rover, okay? And we give it about a 50% Twin Rover, 35% Dark Twin Rover, 15% draw. The draw situation would have been very interesting. We can talk about that later. But in general, we're still counting this as a win for Twin Rover. But like in some other scenarios you might have seen, we're theory crafting a scenario here. This is one of the scenarios in which Dark Twin Rover would have won.
In the scenarios where Twin Rover would have won, instead of Kotake accidentally bonking the other one, they either would have both bonked, or they would have both pointed and distracted, and then fired a sucker punch shot at their counterparts, or at each other's counterparts, rather, that were standing across from them. Basically using their ability to strategize as two individuals who are very in sync with each other and have good chemistry strategically. And so it would be kind of the thing of, I know what you're thinking, you know what I'm thinking. Kind of like when you play Monster Hunter online with randos, you have no voice chat, but you can just, without even looking at each other, you just know what the other people are about to go do. You don't have to see them on the screen. You just know, so-and-so ran off that direction. They're going to climb up and then jump down, try and jockey, so I'm going to prepare this monster to get grabbed. It's kind of that same thing where they don't have to communicate to strategize with each other.
Yeah.
And that's a lot different from being two entities that share a mind versus two entities with their own minds that think on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
At that point, you have two different angles you see things from that are working together, and that can be a lot stronger. So as long as Twinrova gets along, and especially if they fuse, at which point they are literally two minds in sync, versus Dark Twinrova fuse is just taking them from two smaller, weaker bodies to one stronger body. There's no mental boost there.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
Komi and Kitake can get along long enough to realize they need to fuse, then it's over for Dark.
yeah, exactly. And again, there were possibilities there in other scenarios. Instead of doing what you decided to do with Twinrova could have possibly fused after that blast, and Twinrova would have been absolutely fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are some scenarios where they don't fuse, but they still win. It's ultimately the reason why there's a higher win rate on Twinrova's end is because, like, if we consider an equal number of scenarios between them fusing and not fusing, Twinrova stands a chance in both scenarios, whereas Dark Twinrova only stands a chance when their opponent is unfused.
Yeah, that is true.
And that gives a bit more credence to that.
We also gave a bonus, and it depends specifically how much knowledge Twinrova would have of Dark Twinrova. But we at the very least determined that there would be some knowledge. Twinrova has lived for what, 500 years, something like that. They must have heard something.
At least a couple centuries.
Exactly, they would have researched something.
Yeah. If nothing else, they would see this and figure out pretty quickly, that looks suspiciously like us if we were made of shadows. I wonder if this is some magic bullshit that might be mirroring our minds. They would know that that kind of thing exists, especially because in the Zelda canon, Dark Link has appeared at other points in time. There's tons of Zelda games that haven't ever happened yet, and so we can assume that there's countless other Legend of Zelda adventures where there could be other events that happened previously in the timeline that, yes, there would have been some story that hasn't been told yet in the games that they would have read about. There's this weird thing in the water temple that seems to reflect your inner insecurities. That's interesting. And then they notice a mirrored version of their room appear and mirrored versions of themselves. It's like, that's a little odd. That sounds a little like something I've read on 4chan. Reddit.
And again, like, they're the people that are supposed to be training Ganondorf, effectively the mothers of Ganondorf. I think they're technically stepmothers, but, in the sense that they raised Ganondorf, but they weren't Ganondorf's actual mother, if I remember correctly.
Kind of like his nurses, essentially.
Yeah, effectively. Like
his old Betty nannies.
The thing is that they have to have done their research on all of these things. There's no way that they couldn't do so, I'm just counting.
When you're magic and you've lived for a few centuries, you've probably gotten bored enough that you're just like, I just want to read a bunch of books for the next, like, 80, 90 years, and I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? You have that freedom. You know that your lifespan will keep going that way, and the more you read and research stuff, the longer you can live because your magic keeps you alive. So they have all the incentive to study more of this stuff because they never know what they'll find that will give them more power or more longevity.
Yeah.
And I think water being something that's often associated with life, they would definitely research the water temple a bit to find out anything that might give you longer lifespan.
They would definitely 100% know about the water temple. I don't know how much they know about, Dark Twinrova in this instance, but I'm sure there would have been some tales going about. I haven't heard much from you, Kat, on this scenario, is the first thing I'd say, so I'd like your opinion.
Yeah.
And second of all...
you both of you just brought so many good points. Most of them were what I was going to bring up. One other hint to the fact that Twinrova must have some knowledge of the Dark One is the fact that somebody had to teach Ganon how to create the Phantom Ganon.
Yes, that's a very good point.
Yeah, true. Exactly.
That might be where they sourced out the magic for that. They saw that and were like, you know what, we can make a spell out of this. It's the Bill Wirtz history of everything in 19 minutes, I guess, of like, we can make a religion out of this.
Please no. Oh boy. But yeah.
I just love that recurring line throughout that video, like 3 or 4 times. Like, we can make a religion out of this. At one point, we can make it. No, don't.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about, although I believe both of you, when we were discussing it, you know, made this better. So I'd like to give it to you, Kat. We haven't explained the 15% draw scenario.
Yes, please give us the draw, because I want to hear that one more than tell it.
Yeah. Well, basically, I mean, do we want to actually do the draw? Because the draw scenario is so fun, shall we just enact it? Yeah?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
let's choose a turn that we rewind to.
We rewind to the we'll rewind to the bonking on the head, say both of them do it.
Yeah, we'll show you your place in the shadows where you belong. In the ground!
And then what would the shadows do? Again, this is sort of giving it a draw, so you know.
I'd say that at that point the shadow versions would be at that stunned, because that goes against their very nature, and they are now mimicking something that's very weak, and they've been hit.
Yeah. So
look at how frail you are. I could beat you with my eyes closed. Oh yeah, well I could beat you with my mouth closed. I sure wish you would close your mouth sometimes.
But yeah,
just
so
hurry up and finish them.
So yeah, what does Twin Rover do in this instance?
I think at this point, like, they're preparing their attack, and Dark Twin Rover would be shaking off their stun. As they're like, just prepare to blast them. Yeah, yep. That's all you ever do.
Yeah, fair enough. And then Dark Twin Rover eliminated. But what happens next, Kraken?
No. I was gonna say, like, Dark Twin Rover is gonna get at least another action in before they actually blast.
Oh, fair.
Maybe some parting words or something, if like.
Yeah, I would say that at the least before they are hit, or during that they are hit, the Dark Ones would scream, "You know I'm right. I am the better one."
You know I'm right. It's the most antagonizing thing you could say when you die in a fight against someone who you were arguing with. You know I'm right.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is what makes it so perfect for this. You know what? They are right. I don't need you. I'm the stronger one. No. You need me. I'm the stronger one. Oh, yeah? Yeah! Well, we'll see about that, huh? And when the smoke clears, there's 4 low piles of ash with pairs of eyeballs on them that blink cartoonishly. And the 2 of them fade away into shadows, and the other 2 get blown away into the dust, and the eyeballs, like Courage Cowardly Dog style, just kind of across the floor.
Sometimes your greatest enemy is yourself.
Other times your greatest enemy is
your sister.
Your twins. Yes. And other times your greatest enemy is the dark version of yourself, or the dark version of your sister. It really depends.
Hey, we could make a religion out of this. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I think we created the cursed version of Spider-Man 3, the movie poster.
But
basically, in the tie of this, Komi and Kotake do overcome their dark versions, but fall victim to the egging on and taunting, and realize that their relationship with it, just like, you know what? This relationship we have here, I'm reevaluating everything over the past few centuries. It's very unhealthy. You know what? I agree. And I'm going to end this now. No, I'm going to end this now. But not if I end it first!
But,
good luck trying to kill me when I'm already dead!
But you know what the problem is, Kraken? They'll both just be ghosts.
Yep.
They won't even get rid of one another.
That's the thing.
They'll be bickering in the afterlife.
As we see it in the actual game itself, after they kill each other, their eyeballs get bounced away, Cowardly Dog style. They're just like, forgot about that part. All right, we're too powerful. You did this. This is all your fault. My fault? If you just died, then I wouldn't have to deal with you. Oh, yes, you would. You'd have to deal with, like, ghosts. We can see those, remember? Well, we can sure see ghosts pretty well now, can't we? I can see myself quite clearly. Clearly! As she looks at her hand.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear that I'm going to be stuck with you forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, we realize that there is a decent chance that Twinrova wins, but not for very long.
Yeah, I still call that a draw, quote unquote. But yeah.
Yeah, this is why we didn't do 60-40. As we were trying to figure out like the exact numbers, we were like 15% chance draw. Okay, what would be the 60-40 equivalent of what's left over? And I was thinking like 50, not 55-45. I was thinking like 40-45, and Goran made the point of 50-35. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I think that's actually a little bit closer to like the same like ratio.
But yeah, I think we've done all of that, and it was definitely far more interesting than I thought it would be. But the thing is, Twinrova is just always interesting. A great boss to be doing. So
yes, the Twinrova being like they are the most characterized among all these bosses, and that gives them a lot of fun for role playing. And personality is what comes in play a lot in these kinds of what if like death battles and stuff. Like when death battle on Screw Attack has been a thing. A lot of time they've had to factor in things like anyone versus Goku. You have to, yeah, sure, Goku's really strong and he's as strong as the story needs him to be, but you have to factor in. Goku's also he's also as clueless or naive as he needs to be for the story. He is a very plot-driven strength character, and as such, there are a lot of times where he can lose to a much weaker opponent just because they can play off of his ego or his like desire to fight. It's a lot of what happens in Dragon Ball with Vegeta, and a lot of his losses against characters he could have beaten, losing to Cell. Vegeta absolutely could have gotten rid of Cell if he had not let Cell absorb like either of the androids.
I believe that was more Android 17 actually.
Well, 17 got absorbed first.
Sorry, no, 18. Yeah, I got it the wrong way around.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and then I realized, wait, no, it was 18, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, had he not let Cell absorb 18, he literally could have killed Cell right there and then, and that was what Cell played on. And it's characters like that who have like a big ego or some kind of big like characteristic flaw rather than a power flaw that can be very interesting to work with in these what-if scenarios.
Yeah.
People like to compare power levels so much. And Toriyama literally only introduced that as a way of like showing like, in a level of flat destructive potential, this is how much destructing they can do. It wasn't meant to be like higher power level always wins, because technique can easily beat power in the right circumstances. You've got tight matchups in Pokemon. Lower stats doesn't mean that you'll lose, and type advantage doesn't mean you'll win.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that stuff with these, and it's what makes this whole series so much fun, and why I've missed being part of it for so long. I've been doing all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Because this is a very fun series to just like go into these fights and think like, how would these two characters interact if forced into a battle scenario? I think that's why we've been doing like we as a collective internet society, we've been doing these what if battle scenarios for a long time now.
Yeah.
There's countless like Facebook groups and forums on Reddit and stuff that are just dedicated, like the old meme of Kevin McAllister versus the Predator. Who wins? How much prep time does Kevin get?
How much?
It's like, that's a fair question.
Sure.
Kevin McAllister with enough prep time and enough resources at his disposal could absolutely take down a Predator and do it non-lethally so it doesn't nuke everything in its vicinity.
Yeah.
Kevin McAllister could win that hypothetically. He's a crafty little bugger.
We're not putting Kevin McAllister into boss battle.
Dang it! I want the Predator to get hit in the face with paint cans tied to rope. I want him to get a concussion.
Okay. But, yeah. Well. Yeah, just thank you, both of you. There's nothing more for me. I enjoy
the Twinrova sisters. I'm sorry we couldn't do anything last week. I I was so wiped out from all the moving, and I was still working on doing more of moving. I've still got to, after this, I've got to go and get the last few boxes, do a couple more trips, bringing stuff back home to finally get the last of my stuff moved out of my old apartment. But I was like, no, I've got to come on this week so that we can get this round done.
Yeah.
And also just to like get myself back in the swing of things, as I'm hoping to resume streaming on Tuesday.
Oh, I'm gone on Tuesday, but yeah, I'm hoping that we do collab as well. Well, all three of us. I know technically this is a collab, but still need to wonder what to do. By the way, I know I'm still streaming, but it's not like I've forgotten and we're just talking after the fact.
I know. I'm just saying. I hope that the three of us. I hope that the three of us and maybe someone else, maybe Troy or someone, can get together on Tabletop Sim and play Slay the Spire, the board game for stream.
I'd be up for that. And like I said, we've got Monster Rancher, so yeah.
Yes. You'll be able to see Goron come visit me on that when I get back to Monster Rancher 2 on one of these days. Maybe not this week, maybe next week, but we'll be figuring something out.
Yep. Okay then.
We'll have to take Monstar Man out of the fridge. I think he's currently in the fridge.
Oh, I'm
Let
confused.
him wreak havoc once again.
I'm confused because you've got it on mine, which isn't. You've got one on mine, and yeah, we were doing it on my sort of game because I bought that game. I don't know if you streamed Monstar Man. Maybe you did. I can't
Monstar Man was my copy because I got him off of the Space Jam soundtrack. For us, it was The Martians. Remember from the Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds?
Oh yeah, we had that one. Yeah,
the Pentagon or whatever they're called. The three dudes who are.
Yeah. Cool. But,
I'm so happy that Jeff Wayne's World of Worlds is one of the CDs that they have in the seeds for that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about that.
But,
I also still can't believe that Space Jam's original soundtrack on CD gave me one of the strongest monsters in the game.
These are the moments the legends are made of.
Yes, it is. It really is. When I first tried to put that CD in when I got it, it was like, sorry, only licensed handlers can have it. So I'm like, there's no way that this is some high-power monster. And then I was like, it's got to be like Bugs Bunny or something. No, it wasn't. It was the Monstar.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, then. Well,
yeah, I'm excited for us to get back to doing all this stuff. It's always fun getting together with you guys and doing funny internet people stuff.
Yep. Cool. Well, yeah. For this, hopefully we'll be able to keep doing it weekly. This is Boss Battle Round 32. I am gonna wrap it up, if that's okay. So yeah, bye for me, and you two have the floor.
I got
There is no such sauce product.
Never mind. I guess my sneeze isn't gonna happen. Oh, hi, Radio.
Oh, hi.
Sorry, Radio.
This is a quick thing, so yeah.
I get you.
But yeah, hey,
Sorry.
thanks for being here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, take care everybody. Bye.